Wie hebben we in de studio? Ian Parker. We gaan met hem praten. Ian, welcome at Blues Meets Rock.
Thank you very much. It's very nice to be here.
It's a pleasure talking to you as well. Ian, can you introduce yourself to the listeners, please?
Yeah, well, I'm Ian Parker. I'm 30 years old, and I've been playing blues music since I was a teenager. Really, I'm from Birmingham, England, Stourbridge. Actually, it's just south of Birmingham, and I got into music when I was about 8 years old, when I first heard the Beatles. So my first interest in music was not blues, but the Beatles.
Yeah.
But shortly after that, I heard B.B. King and John Mayall being played in my home. My parents were and still are big fans of B.B. King and John Mayall, especially John Mayall, actually.
Yeah.
And this just started my interest in blues, and that's that was the starting point of where I am today, really.
Are you from a musical family?
Kind of. My dad used to play drums. He doesn't play anymore, but he used to play drums, not on a very serious level, but I think for a while when he was young, in his 20s,
he was playing in a band? Or?
He played in bands like what we would call function bands, that go out and play the popular hits of the day, in social clubs, And he used to do that. I think at one point he was playing like 6 nights a week or something. So it was quite serious in the sense that he went out and played. But I don't think he took himself. It was never a career. It was just a hobby, even though he was playing every night. But it was for fun, not for money, really.
Yeah.
And his mother, my nan, my grandmother, played piano. And I think maybe therefore the musical. The musical genes probably come from that side of the family, I would say. And then my mother's side, none of them play instruments, but I think there's a kind of, I see it really as my artistic persona is made up of maybe the musical ingredients from my father's side, and then I think my mother's side of the family is maybe where my emotional side comes from. The way that I think and feel is, I think, quite related to my mom and my grandfather.
You use a lot of emotionals in your songs. You write your own songs.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the songs are about your life, isn't it?
Pretty much all of them. I mean, there are only 1 or 2, 3 songs in all of the songs I've written now, which are all recorded and out there that aren't about me. It's just, that's what I do, really. It's not it's not like social commentary music or anything like that. It's just me expressing my feelings about my life at any particular time, really. That's what I do. Yeah.
So when I listen to your music, I hear Ian talk to me.
Yeah, exactly. And usually what you're hearing is things which I find difficult to express without music. So that's really what drives me to play music, actually. The more I think about it and get older and realise that's why I'm here, really. That's why I'm playing music, is because I sometimes feel a little bit limited in my ability to interact with people on a deep level. There are a select number of people in my life that I'm open to interact with, but then there are hundreds of people who technically aren't in my life, but people who come to my concerts and listen to my music, who there is an interaction there of sorts, but it's a safe one for me because it's not personal. I don't know their names, I don't know who they are, and but I'm expressing something to them, and their response back gives me something, So it's a very emotional relationship, really, between my listeners and me.
Yeah, it's going very deep then.
I think so. I mean, I mean, if anything, I'm trying more and more to bring in some elements of my music that are just fun, that aren't too serious, because I realise it must be, you can't have every single piece of music that you play or write, being so serious that I don't want people to come to an Ian Parker concert and just become depressed, So I'm trying to balance it, really, but yeah, essentially that's.
Oh, you do it pretty well then.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. you're here for promoting your new CD.
Yeah.
And it's called Where I Belong.
Mm.
And when I saw it, I just thought, do you really know now where you belong, or is it just like you're still searching for something?
Well, the title of the album was taken from one of the songs on the album, which is called Where I Belong.
Yeah.
And actually, the song Where I Belong is really, it's about my ongoing search for a sense of place emotionally in my life, you know, feeling like really belonging somewhere and not feeling disconnected. I sometimes feel a bit disconnected in some way. I don't really know how to describe exactly what it is I'm trying to say, but there's an ongoing search for me to it's about me. It's not about anyone else.
Yeah.
It's about me opening up myself to people, to allow people in, you know.
You went... I'm sorry.
And the reason why I then chose Where I Belong for the title of the album is that I also feel that with this record, from a musical point of view, I've found a bit of focus, you know.
Yeah.
I spent all of my 20s going into different styles of music and really enjoying that, and I think it's a good thing to do, but it meant that for certainly for the industry, it was complicated. What does Ian Parker do? 1 minute he plays this, and then he's doing some blues, and he's like, you know, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So, but I think this album kind of pulls together a lot of those influences for the first time. So maybe musically, that's where I belong.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's what I thought. Musically,
Yeah,
this is somewhere where you belong.
Yeah.
You went to South America.
Yeah, I went
To find out the blues again, or what did you do there?
Well, that was an incredible experience, and one which took me by surprise. The record company had this idea to send me and two other artists, Ainsley Lister, who's also from England, and a girl called Erja Luutinen from Finland. And the idea was to put us together to do a package tour for a year, which we did last year. And then they also said, well, why don't we make an album, the three of you together? And we started to talk about it, and then we decided between us that we should maybe go to America, because it would be an interesting idea to have three European blues artists going to America, and just to see if that would actually influence us, or maybe it wouldn't be powerful, maybe it would. That was the idea. So we went there to Mississippi and to Memphis, and got to see those places, visit especially in Mississippi, visit places of important, historical importance, like Clarksdale, the whole Robert Johnson birthplace of the blues sort of area.
Yeah.
And it had a massive effect on me, and I realised that the blues. I realised how important the blues is to me, and I had actually forgotten a little bit, because when I was in my late teens, I was just blues, you know, and then I started to get into songwriting and songwriters, and then I went away from the blues. But this experience in America just made me think, no, I really am a blues artist. What I am is a contemporary blues artist. I'm not bound by any desire to copy the past, but I still want to be in the tradition of blues. And I felt that it was my direction, my duty really, to bring all of my influences together and put them in a box which is called contemporary blues. And that's the focus that I now have, which I gained from going to America.
Yeah, we will continue talking later with you. First of all, of course, we wanted to listen to your CD. It's beautiful. I think we start with number one, Where I Belong. Okay, go ahead.
Across the soil, I feel the rain upon my face. Deny myself through endless toil. I wonder whether I can hold the pace. Seeking thrills to make it real, keeping the truth far from my door. Pins in my skin just to prove I can feel. Numbing the pain to keep from hitting the floor.